This is it, guys. This is the shower. It is completed. Now we still have our finishes and the rest of the shipping container to go. So, which is why you see this wood here and on this side. But overall, the shower is fully completed all the way down to the Schluter here, which is that metal transition that I showed you earlier. Once we're complete with this wood here, it'll tie in and everything will be nice and clean line. But we were able to find a shower door. I was kind of shocked that we didn't have to have customized, and so it was $400 versus $1,200, which I initially thought we were going to have to do by bringing a glass company in. Kohler did a great job of giving us an adjustable one, 32 to 36 inches. The only setback is this here has a rail, and usually if you get a custom one, you can do a Euro shower door that has no rail. So let's just go ahead and take a peek. And this is it. This is an absolutely beautiful job. The can fan does exactly what it's supposed to do. When the shower is very steamy, it just sucks that moisture right out, and we don't have any residual moisture in the rest of the area at all. So I'm very happy about that. And that shower head, that is a Delta shower head. It's a kinetic. It's called an H2O kinetic. I encourage you to switch out your shower head for that. It's absolutely wonderful. It gives you a rain head shower. And then you can remove that handle there. And this is great for bathing the dogs and even showering, or pardon me, cleaning the shower itself. Delta is my favorite brand because it's the best value for the money, and you ask any plumber out there, usually that's their favorite to work with as well because the parts are so readily available. I absolutely love the herringbone tile with the stainless steel linear drain there. I love our transition piece, which is quartz, and this quartz matches our countertop. And then I love how the floor that we have here matches and ties in quite beautifully with this herringbone. And of course I love the niche. Niche makes me super happy. The white is timeless. The herringbone marble is timeless. One of the things that I was adamant about was usually I put in glass shelves so that they can be easily removed. A lot of my clients would put them in the dishwasher. You get tempered glass shelves. We didn't want to have to source out for those, so Jay just cut the quartz. I can still remove them if I want. We just tapped it into instead of building it all the way in, and I did want to be able to remove it. So that's why we did that. But overall, it's very clean. This was a 4-foot niche, or is a 4-foot niche, but you can see I have lots of options. I've got my foot shelf here, and then enough just to do whatever we need, and with a little extra over. So I am super happy with this. So I had a lot of people ask, they're having a hard time trying to figure out the placement of everything because we do a lot of close-ups and when we're doing projects. So I thought I'd take a quick moment to show you guys where everything is and relative to one another. So we are standing just north of the road that we live on. My garden is right off the road, and for those of you that know me and know where we live, you've seen this going by several times. Many of you I have honked and I've waved 1,000 times, and thank you for the encouragement of that honk. So let me show you where we are. So behind me is Mom and Dad's, and we share a field, and the edge of my garden and where that white post is right there is where Dad's property ends and ours begins. And then this garden is off the front of our property, and then there is the shipping container. So we have the one that we're living in. It's very hard to point and show you at the same time, and I'm trying really hard. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you to where we're at. So right here is the storage, and there is our home. Because this was my baby, I wasn't really showing it. So other than, just doing when Jay would help me, because I wanted to show both of us. But several people said, no, they wanted to see it. So here we are. Directly behind me is buttercup and spaghetti squash. I have a lot already on there, and we have regular sized cucumbers and then pickle cucumbers all along. So at the end of the second row there is the watermelon. Right behind the watermelon is pumpkins. You can see I've got a really good one there, and I've got about 6 other ones on there. They have the really large yellow blooms you can see that are all right there. And then we've got the yellow squash and the zucchini that finishes out the row. On the other side of that row, all the way up there, are my San Marzano tomatoes. That whole row that you see that looks like dead plants, those are potatoes. Those actually were supposed to look that way. When the tops die off, they're ready to harvest. So I should be pretty good at getting those ready to harvest. On the other side of the potatoes, I don't know if you can see, on the other side of the potatoes are all carrots all the way along. And then I have my broccoli and Brussels sprout all behind that. So all the way right there on the 5th row are sweet peas. Then we have green beans, which are ready to harvest. Then we have okra and peppers. And on the final row I have sage that's growing right here. So I have dill. It is bolting. Look how big that is. I have my basil. Look at these guys. So this is my cilantro. This cilantro is huge. It's huge. Now, this mound isn't very tall here. This is a very flat mound. What I mean by that is it might be 8 to 10 inches tall. And this cilantro is every bit of, without the mound, probably 4 foot tall. Maybe even 4.5 feet tall. But look how fat those bumblebees are. They're doing their job. So I did let this bolt. I love cilantro. It's probably second behind basil, and I wanted this to bolt. I'm going to do a second wave of cilantro. I wish you guys could smell it. It smells incredible here with the smell of the basil, the sweet basil, the cilantro, and the dill. It just smells so clean. I can't explain it any other way. But cilantro when they bolt or flower, which means they just grow straight fast up and flower, it produces coriander seed, which a lot of you know, and I'm after those for pickles. So I have 2 plants of oregano. What you doing, Piper? What you doing? She is so dirty, you guys. I can't keep her clean. What you didn't see was she was rolling around in the dirt. Not, what, probably 5 minutes ago. Piper. Yeah, she doesn't care. I keep telling her she's a princess, but she, her face. Get out of my garden! Silly girl. This is my rocket lettuce. This is just as tall, I mean, this is probably, this rocket lettuce is with the flowers, and they smell absolutely like a field in the summer should be on a sunny day. But that rocket lettuce is probably every bit of 5 feet tall. Over here, it's actually taller than me. I don't know if you can see. It's probably a foot taller than me. I've never seen lettuce grow. We've had lettuce all summer long. It started and just never stopped. So I hope you enjoyed the tour. I really worked hard at this garden. I am pleased with how it turned out, given that I've had a lot of limited knowledge. I've never done the raised bed like this before. I did them downstate out of necessity, but never in the row form like this. Taking the leaf litter and that out of the forest. A lot of people warned me against doing that. I mean, it's just, I've had really good luck. And those potatoes, they look rough, but they're actually what you want to see this time of year. Look at that. There's just something to be said about. You see how close he is to the road?
We got a storm coming through.
Tucker, hup.
Shortly, we have a lightning and severe weather warning going on right now, but we're gonna try and pick some potatoes
For dinner.
before we get hit.
And I was concerned about grubs because I was pulling grubs out, but look how pretty those are.
Beautiful potatoes.
They are. Okay, well, it appears that no matter how funny my corn stalks look, the corn looks absolutely large and beautiful and ready to harvest. So, but it's proof is in the pudding. It's really all about how it tastes. So I'm gonna get to harvesting and then we will see. So this corn is called Peaches and Cream, which means it is just incredibly sweet and rich. This couldn't be a more perfect cob. It's absolutely beautiful. I hope they all look like this. This one actually was one of the rougher looking ones from the outside, so we couldn't figure out what she was eating.
That is funny.
Yeah. She's swiped 3 of them out of the bowl when her backs were turned. Watch her. And what's so funny is she takes it barely with her teeth, like you won't notice it.
Mm-hmm. Hey! Hey, you little thief.
You're a thief!
You're eating green beans.
What are you doing? You didn't work for those. So we just finished harvesting our green beans. We also got a food saver, and we normally would can, but the problem that we have is that is our shipping container out there that's for storage. It is full, A. B, it's not insulated. And we have such a high water table where we're at, we can't put anything in the ground yet until we figure that out for a cellar. So that leaves us to freezing everything. We can't have canned goods in the winter because it dips down below freezing consistently and it would shatter all the glass jars. So we decided to food saver everything, and that means we're just going to have to buy an extra freezer. In doing that, Jay and I are learning how to process it all. I let him do the fun part, which is figure out the mechanicals, and that way he would help me, right, honey? Mm-hmm. He just put his contacts in. That's why he looks like he's been crying. I haven't been smacking him or anything.
Don't believe it. Don't believe a word of it. She's mean to me.
Don't pretend you don't like it. Anyways, so this was our first bag. It's our first trial. I did not blanch these. I know that people say you need to blanch green beans. I know that I have several farmers up here have told me that they don't blanch their green beans. So, and they said specifically if you do this food saver like this, you shouldn't have to, that they actually use a straw and a baggie process, and they don't have to. So I'm assuming that this will actually be better than that process. So we're going to start processing these green beans, and then we're going to move on to squash. So I'm not sure how much, I haven't done a cost analysis yet between how much this is costing us from start to finish versus buying a can of green beans at the grocery store. I'm pretty certain this is more expensive right now because it's an initial investment. But what you can't put a price on is the fact that A, it was all of our hard work, and B, the flavor of this food is undeniable. But most importantly,
No pesticides.
No pesticides. We have, I did everything I could to be as organic as possible.